£10,000 for a bike, but is cycling really expensive? Let's take a look.
How much should you spend? Well, if this is your first bike in a while and you're looking to commute or go on weekend rides, I'd recommend looking at the £500 to £1,000 range. This will get you a bike with decent components, one that you'll enjoy riding, and that's very important. You're going to learn a lot about what you like and don't like about it, and actually what type of riding you really will do with it. So sometimes you think, I didn't think I was going to do weekend riding when I got mine, and I ended up going on weekend rides. So yes, you'll learn a lot about what you like, what you don't like, what your riding style is, and then you can buy your second bike. Now, if that sounds like a lot to you, let's put it in perspective. Here's some other things that cost between £500 and £1,000. An iPhone, a laptop, a nice bag, insurance on a car for a year, perhaps even a week away at a non-inclusive. But unlike all these other things, a bike can earn its keep and pay itself back. How? Well, the obvious, if you use your bike to commute to work, you'll no longer have to pay for petrol and parking if you drive, and no longer for train or bus fare if you take public transport. So in London, a zone 1 to 3 pass for a month will pay for itself within 4 months. So it doesn't actually even take that long. So when you look at it that way, cycling is definitely not expensive. For the drivers out there, there's one other way. If you live in the UK, you can possibly save money by being a cyclist. Car Insurance for Cyclists recognizes that cyclists make better drivers, and they offer lower premiums to you. So if you want to give that a try, I'll put the link in the description box below. And for me, the best benefit of all, the health benefits. So I started cycling because I was too busy to go to the gym. And as it turns out, cycling keeps a disease I have called Crohn's in remission. 5 years and counting. It's amazing. If somebody told you there was a pill you could take that would have your chances of heart disease, cancer, help with insomnia, cause you to lose weight, I think you'd pay £500 to £1,000 for that pill. So I really think when you look at cycling in that way, it's really very reasonable and worth every penny, and you usually end up getting it back anyway, unless you're like me and end up with many bikes and cycling holidays and the rest of it. But in general, cycling, and even then, I think it's been worth every single penny. It's enriched my life, it's giving me my health, and yeah, I'm stronger, I'm more confident, I go on amazing adventures. It really honestly is worth every single penny I've ever spent on it. So what if you don't have a £500 to £1,000 hanging around? Most of us don't. So there's a few ways you can sort of reduce the initial cost of getting onto a bike. The first one is to check if your employer has a cycle to work scheme, and this allows you to spread out the costs over the course of a year off your paycheck, and it also gives you some salary savings. So I'll link below to that. Another way you can reduce the cost to getting into cycling is to buy a used bike. So this way you can get more bike for your money than if you buy new. But two words of wisdom for this. I would recommend, if you don't have somebody around you that knows about cycling and can, tell you if you're getting a good deal or not, then I would check if your local bike store has used bikes. So if you can find a local bike shop that sells used bikes, that puts you in a good position to getting a bike that's been serviced and in good condition and that's safe to ride, and potentially not stolen. If not, then I'd recommend finding somebody who knows about bikes to come along with you and to look at the bikes you're considering to tell you if you're paying a fair price. And make sure to budget an extra probably £50 to £60 to get that bike serviced once you buy it, so you know it's safe and in good riding condition and you don't have to worry about it as you get to know it. If you want to get started in cycling and you don't have the money for a bike, a great way to do that is by getting involved with the Dockless bikes if your city has them, or City Bikes if they have City Bikes where you are. I challenge you to buy the annual membership fee though, just to make sure you give it a really good chance. It's also the cheapest way to get on board as far as value for money, ride for money. But don't judge cycling based on your ride on these bikes. They are really safe because they're built like tanks, and you can't go very fast on them. So they are really great for beginners. Also, drivers tend to give you wide berth when you're on this type of bike. I don't know if it's because they think you're an inexperienced cyclist or you're more likely to be wearing normal clothes and no helmet on them. But yeah, I feel safer around cars on them. So I highly recommend giving that a try, especially if you have short distances to travel and know where to store your bike at either end and theft is a big concern for you. They actually solve that problem really nicely. Cycling has given back to me more than I've spent, and I've spent a lot now. And once you get cycling, you'll see the way it brings value into your life, and spending £1,000 or 10,000 won't seem quite so expensive anymore. All right, 10,000 is expensive for a bike. Get out there, get yourself a bike, make cycling part of your life. The best way to do it is just to fit it in as a normal part of your life, and then as you get more confident and better at it, it will become a bigger part of your life.